I want to talk about roles for a minute, okay? Just like on your team, everybody's got a role to play. Everybody's got a job to do, and they need to embrace that role. Whether they're the star starting quarterback, whether they're, we were to the kids that try hard, that are working to get some time, whether they're your minimum play guys, everybody's got a role. Well, everybody in the organization has a role too, right? The leaders of your organization, your association presidents, the leaders of American Youth Football, in Phoenix even, right? They have one job, right? They're single focused. They have a lot of things that they do, but they have one job. And that job is to create the kind of culture that they want in their association, right? American Youth Football has a mission, right? And they have an idea of what they want football to be like at this level. But each of your associations has a little bit different mission and a little bit different purpose. It might be regionally, but you have your own culture at each of those different things. And we just define culture as, this is the way that we do things here, right? They might not do it that way over there. This is the way we do it here, right? So the leaders establish that culture and they shape the culture. And the culture in youth sports is different than what we see on TV, right? We watch games in the NFL and in college, and we might go to our high school games, and it's a little bit different, okay? In college and the pros specifically, their job is to make money, right? It's a business. And they do that by being entertaining. And to be entertaining, they got to have a good team, and they got to put a winning product on the field, and that's their main goal, right? High school youth sports, we want to talk about what we call a development zone, right? And this development zone that helps young kids learn about themselves is where we're going. And we need to try to create this development zone by playing these roles. You guys are what we call double goal coaches, okay? And I think the terms that we use and the language is really, really important, just like it is on your football team, right? You have terminology and phrases that you might use that describe a whole lot of things, right? You might be able to say one thing, a few words, and it describes a whole sequence of fundamentals or strategy, right? What are some things? Give me a quick phrase that you might throw out, quick sentence that's going to describe a whole lot of things for your team. Like when you pass out your terminology, right? What are some words that you use? Describe how you're going to tell a kid to tackle, right? In the middle of a game, in between plays, you want to holler at a kid. What are some things that you might tell them? Commitment, okay. What else? What does that tell me about how I'm going to approach the ball at carry?
Maintain your integrity.
Maintain your integrity. And what does that mean?
Recognize who you are as an individual.
Okay, all right. So we weren't talking about tackling. We're talking about, life right there. I like that. Right, what else? Describe a defense. What might you say to a kid that is going to, describe what are you going to call a particular defense that you're in? Swarm. Right? If I say swarm, what is that going to tell people? Everybody's get to the ball. Right? I got to say one thing, it tells everybody a whole bunch of other things. Right? Describe blocking for me. You want to be able to speak and catch phrases. Right? Something quick and easy that are going to describe all this. It creates a mental model for a kid. Right? It's the same thing with what we're talking about. If we tell you that you're a double goal coach, what does that tell you about how many goals you have? Yeah, you got 2 goals, right? And those 2 goals are striving to win, because we don't hide from that, and trying to teach life lessons. Those are both your jobs, not just the score, right? Trying to teach life lessons. So a double goal coach not only tries to win, but also prepares his kids for life by teaching them life lessons and building character, right? And there might not be a better youth sport to do that in, to really build character than making the commitment to play youth football, right? So here's the thing that's going to help you create the culture on your team. I would say 90% of the coaches that I talk to have this same answer. Tell me your biggest problem in your program or on your team. Who creates the biggest problem? Parents, right? We got to get them on our side. We got to get them under control, right? So this terminology helps you do that. You're a double goal coach. You are going to prepare your kids to win and teach them life lessons. Parents are second goal parents. So which goal should they focus on? What's the second goal? Teach life lessons, right? They shouldn't worry about strategy and fundamentals and playing time, right? As much as they're worried about the life lessons that we're teaching their kids, like commitment, work ethic, teamwork, right? And if you can get the people in your program to follow their role, to play their role, you're going to be in great shape. Right? The leaders are establishing the culture, giving you an opportunity to coach, allowing you to coach. You're going to coach, trying to prepare your kids to win and teach life lessons. And parents are going to focus on just the life lessons part of it. And if that all happens, kids are going to have a great time because those roles aren't going to cross. Right? You're not going to have parents that are trying to coach, which is a tough thing from the stands. Right? So we want to help the parents focus and absorb those life lessons. And lastly, we want to create what we call triple impact competitors. Okay? We want kids to realize that there are different ways that they can impact the sport. Right? They can work really, really hard to make themselves better and improve their performance. But they also need to make their teammates better. And they need to play in such a way that represents your program to make the game that they're playing in better and make their community better, right? So we want kids to look at all three of those things in order for them to be a complete athlete, because those are the kind of kids that are going to get the best out of sports and move on to their best ability. So we want to try to play all of those roles as best we can. Okay, let's go to that next slide.